especially a
Yeah,
linebacker,
I agree.
especially a linebacker that he's good, but why wouldn't you re-sign Chenal when you can get him probably for about 4 to 5 million per
That's what
year?
I'm saying.
Chenal is a better linebacker at this point. He knows the system. You need to keep him. You want to let Cook go? Fine.
Trying to see. I think he just turned 24.
Yeah, yeah. So, like I said, it kind of depends, but I think the upside for Brees is higher. So, and on top of that, hell, he's a hometown kid. Shit, I want him to come back home.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. But a lot of
So,
dudes don't. They don't. A lot of dudes don't know that. They don't know that he's from Kansas. So
shit, I mean that's fine. That's who I want. I want Brees to come back home.
oh
I
yeah.
really, I really do.
Okay, Brees is about to be. Yeah, he about to be turning 25. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah,
So
he got about a little over 2 years over him.
yeah. So I'd like to see him come back home and, you know, come back to the turf. You know, that's what I like to see. So, all right. All I can say is, I'm Big Temp. That's Mr. Michael Flair. We are the Cave Cast. I hope y'all are sitting down. You probably already heard this, but we're going to talk about it any damn way. Patrick Mahomes has taken another step forward to solidifying himself as the best possible chief we've ever had in the history of chiefdom. I'm just saying that because they keep doing the great things by making sure that Patrick is paid, and Patrick keeps making sure that we find ways to find money to be able to bring in other players and make this Chiefs kingdom and this dynasty try to keep moving down the path that it needs to go to. By the time you guys hear this, it'll be kind of old news, but we like to talk about it anyway. Patrick Mahomes did restructure his deal with the Chiefs and converted about 54.45 million of Patrick Mahomes' contract, right? So for 2026, the base salary, they converted most of that into a signing bonus. It dropped his cap hit from about 78.2 million for the upcoming season to 34.65 million 2026. The move created about 43.5 million in cap space, but did not immediately fix everything. But that was the biggest domino, right? That was the biggest domino. So they took care of that first. That's what good GMs do. This is the fourth consecutive offseason that the Chiefs have restructured Mahomes' contract for cap relief. And this is why this matters. Restructuring does spread guaranteed money that is owed to Mahomes as a bonus over future years, lowering the immediate cap hit. We need that. Okay. However, it does increase Mahomes' cap number in the future seasons, close to about 10 to 11 million higher each year for the next four. Okay. The Chiefs are still estimated to be around 10 to 14 million over the salary cap, even after this move. So more work remains. Now, like I said, we're going to be airing this late. Everybody else is going to be talking about it, but there are moves that are going to be made, I think, even, after this, and they may pop up as you guys wind up seeing this. But the move was necessary, and this is why. So before the restructure, the Chiefs were in a very, very tight financial spot. Widely reported, everybody knows this. It was one of the worst cap situations in the league, more than 50 million over the projected cap, with every team required to be cap compliant before March 11th. Okay. So there was going to be either cuts, restructures, releases, anything that they were going to have to do. And there still may be more coming, like I said. So for context, basically, let's put it like this. When a team doesn't get under the cap in time, it can't sign free agents or finalize contracts, which could cripple a lot of the Chiefs' offseason plans, or any teams, right? The other moves that could be made, which we're, like I said, we might be seeing in the future here pretty quickly. Uh, I'll put it like this: getting under the cap, it wasn't the only goal, but that was the start of it, right? The Chiefs also need enough room to re-sign core players and try to pursue some kind of upgrades. So here's some of the realistic paths that I've seen, okay, that could possibly happen. The first one I'm not so sure about. The first one, but it is one of the bigger ones that I think we need to at least look at. There's either a restructure or an extension. I don't think the extension part will happen with Chris Jones. His contract carries a huge cap figure for 2026. Restructuring or extending him could free up another large chunk of space. I don't think they're going to extend him. I don't
I don't
think
think they're
that's,
going to do. I don't
yeah,
think they're doing either. To be honest with
yeah.
you.
And a lot of people don't. I don't necessarily know because I'm not the GM, so I can't tell you exactly what kind of moves they could make, but these are the ones that are coming up more common, in, spaces like Over the Cap or Arrowhead Pride and things like that, right?
So
So other,
the reason why I would say that is because I don't think like next year
yeah,
they'll have an out. They'll have an out for him. So if they don't want to keep him next year,
true,
they can
very
release him
true.
next year. If
Yeah,
you extend him, then it kind of makes that a little bit more harder to do because
yeah,
obviously money situation. So
yeah.
yeah, they probably
Now
want to keep that open.
the ones that I think are more feasible and more likely are going to be Jawan Taylor, right tackle for the Chiefs right now. Cutting him could clear about 20 plus million in space. Likely, uh, it could be likely one of the first moves to balance the books after this Mahomes, restructure. Mike Dana, defensive end, defensive tackle. He is also listed among players whose cap hits make them a logical candidate. Okay, this is this is one of the things is, like I said, we look at this and a lot of these guys won't be back. A lot of the, core guys who've been there, Drew Tranquil, Noah Gray, and some others with modest cap hits could be on the roster bubble depending on
Wanye
need.
Morris.
Yeah, Wanya Morris, depending on need versus cost. There are pay cuts that could happen. Asking players like Noah Gray or other mid-tier veterans to restructure their deals could buy extra cap room without losing talent. Which, if we could keep Noah Gray like that, I wouldn't mind that if he'd be willing to take a minor pay cut or something to that nature, right? Now, the reason why this is so important is because this is essential for free agent strategy. Okay. Once we are cap compliant, the Chiefs, they will have, a lot of key decisions to make, right? Resign key contributors is one thing, right? So we'll want to keep impact players instead of watching them hit open market. Like, I do not want to see Leo Chanel hit the open market. I do not.
That's what I'm saying.
I do not want to see Leo Chanel hit the
Especially
open
when I
market.
think you can keep it. You can probably keep him for cheap. Like
Exactly. I think you can
you can
keep him
probably
for a
keep.
real. Yeah, and his production is good. It's very good for what we're paying him. Okay, what we would be paying him. Also, target free agents. I would like to see us target some kind of free agents on defense, whether it's defense or not. Front seven help or wide receiver room, maybe possibly. We never know. Tyreek Hill. Excuse me. Having cap room gives
Bad.
flexibility. So there are some broader implications with this. Balancing between present and future. So, short-term cap relief pushes costs into future years, like we already talked about. And that's fine when you expect continued competitiveness, but it means the Chiefs they must plan ahead, okay? They must plan ahead to avoid repeated crunches, which seems to be the ongoing situation here the last 2 or 3 years. Okay, so Mahomes' long-term contract picture, right? Cap hit ballooning in future seasons, full extension or rework down the line is likely, going to happen to manage the long-term cap health. And here's what I'd like to say. Okay. And I like to hear from the audience and people who are members or subscribers to the channel, right? How does the Mahomes restructure affect Chiefs roster building? Okay, that's number one. Number two, whether the team should cut paid vets now to protect depth. Three, how salary cap strategies impact on-field competitiveness. And four, what should the Chiefs cap situation say about balancing dynasty building and smart financial management? Leave a couple of your answers, if you would, please, in the comments when this goes out. We'd like to hear from everybody. My question about this in totality is anything that we do gonna get us to a situation where we are competitive on the field with the talent that we have? And that's really the bottom line. Restructuring contracts, getting rid of players who are getting too much money for what we're getting as far as, on-field performance. Those are the things that are the most important. One of the things we haven't talked about with this whole restructure and re-sign or, cutting guys or pay cuts or, letting guys go is the Trent McDuffie situation. With Trent McDuffie, he is one of the best cornerbacks in the league, right? The problem is they do have a 5th-year option on Trent. They could franchise tag him. Never know. Transitional franchise tag, right? We never know what could happen. And you also have Leo Chanel. Two guys I do not want to really see leave Kansas City. But, this is a big but, if it comes down to it and we get the right amount of compensation for a Trent McDuffie, I could see the Kansas City Chiefs actually making a move to trade Trent McDuffie for the right price. I hate to say that, but I do think that's possible, and it's possibly in the works. Possibly before draft time.
I will say this though, um, the Chiefs. I mean, they technically still have 2 years with him if they want
True.
to,
They got this
without
year.
even
They got
that, and
this
that's
year.
without even. Yeah, they got this year, and then they can tag him after this year. So they got a
Mm-hmm.
whole.
With
It be 3 years before we see him and get an actual deal.
what they
You
want to
know,
do, though, what they do with most guys who are this good this early in their career, and they have shown a lot of promise, right? Possibly have not hit their ceiling, right? They want to try to get these guys signed earlier where they can pay them less, where they're not asking for the top dollar. So that's why they try to get it before that, before they get into that 4th year and
no,
making
I
sure
get
that
that.
you're trying to get
But
that money
this is my
situation
thing
straight.
though. Think because here's my thinking. I just don't know if he can play himself into even more money at this point. Unless like another corner, you know, kills the fucking,
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
the
That's
corner
exactly what I'm
market.
worried about. Like if
But
another guy
like,
comes out this year and just fucking dog walks every fucking wide receiver that comes across him, like maybe gives up like
I'm trying to
15
think of who would. I'm trying to think of who would have the potential. I mean, Gonzalez is really the only one I can think of.
Christian Gonzalez is going to be a problem when it comes to when the market opens for him.
But I don't think
And
he's going into his 3rd year. I don't think.
exactly, but this is why I said, because what would possibly happen, and here's a scenario. Christian Gonzalez just had an amazing Super Bowl. Amazing Super Bowl after having a really fantastic year. Okay. He comes out, and in the middle of this year, they saying, New England says, hey, look, we need to re-sign this guy now. because we don't want to get into his fourth year. And now this guy can really go out there and demand a lot more money. They come out and say, hey, look, we want to make you the highest paid corner in the league, right? They come out, they offer him, give him some more money on top of, where he's at in his contract. And let's say it adds up to like 130 million. Okay. I'm not saying it will, but let's say it does. Well, that resets the whole fucking market for damn corners. Now here's Trent saying, I've won 2 Super Bowls, been all pro. I think I need to be compensated as close to what this guy's being compensated. Not saying he's gonna get it, but that may be the mentality that he has when it comes down to it.
I ain't gonna lie, I feel like the older Trent gets, the more leverage he loses. Because by that time, think about it. By that time, if that was to happen,
that's only this coming year. That's only this coming year. That's only this coming year.
Think about it. Yeah. Think about it. If Gonzalez waits until not this year, but the next year's off season, which will be when the Chiefs will tag. I'm just saying, like let's say that happened because he is only going into his third year.
That's usually, what I'm saying.
If you're a first round pick, they'll usually re-sign you after not this year, but the next year in the offseason. So this coming offseason, not this offseason.
Yeah.
So that's probably what will happen. But my thing is, by that time,
Trent will be what, 25?
He's going to 27. No, he's 25 now.
Okay, he's 25 now. So he'll be 26. He'll be 26.
What I'm saying is that what Gonzalez is going to ask for that contract, Gonzalez is what, 20, 21? He'll be like 22, 23 years old. That's completely different than paying that kind of money to like a 26, 27-year-old. Like, that's way different.
It is, but it's not, because the one thing that fucking McDuffie has on his side, I think, is he can say, I've won 2 Super Bowls. I know what it takes to win in big time games. Gonzalez got there, but he didn't win. Now, mind you, it's a team game. Yes, true enough. But that is the one thing.
It ain't like they lost because of him. Shit.
No, hell no. No, they damn sure didn't lose because of him.
He gave him more. As a matter of fact, it would have been more of a blowout if he wouldn't have made some of the plays he made. To be honest with you.
You know what? Let's make a trade. Let's trade Trent for Gonzalez right now.
Man, they ain't doing that shit. They is not doing that.
I know. That's me bullshitting. But like I said, you're right in the sense of the age situation. I can't knock that. I cannot deny that. But the one thing I will say, to me, the way I look at it is, I don't know if the New England Patriots wait that long. I think they try to sign him immediately within the year, within this season, to try to cut their losses as far as what they would have to pay out. Because if they could get him now and say, hey, let's put you on another 4-year contract on top of what you have. Let's merge it together. Let's put these 4 years on top of what you're already in. When we put you on a 4-year, that means they're picking up his 5th year, 6th year, and 7th year, right? So that would mean that they could pay him that amount of money for just the 7 years. They'll pay him an upfront bonus. You know that's what's going to happen, and they'll probably make some of it guaranteed. So I'm just saying, it's a possibility. He is possibly the one corner that could reset the market that has not been signed to a big time contract yet. Besides,
I just don't see McDuffie. Yeah, I just don't. Even if that happens, I just don't see McDuffie getting that from nobody at this point.
True.
Not now.
I mean,
especially if they wait. That's what I'm saying. Especially if they wait until he's 26 potentially to get the contract. Whereas if Christian signs it, because he'll probably do it this year, more than likely. That's probably what's going to happen.
How much did Snead sign for after he left here? Because it was a sign and trade, right? Do you remember?
They tagged him, remember?
Yeah, they franchise tagged him, so it was a transitional tag, basically.
And then they extended him after that. Hold on.
How much was the extension for? And what was his age?
I think it was like $78 million for like 3 years or something like that. I don't know.
Okay,
it was something like that.
And how old was Snead? I'm pretty sure he was about
Oh,
26.
it was a 4-year deal.
4-year deal with the transitional tag, right? So
And then he got
four
about
year.
15 million. It was about 15 million a year.
Okay, so 15 million per year. Now you got to remember that's before the whole situation with uh Sauce Gardner. So 15 million per year, and that was what, a little over what, 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago.
Because I know the tag was like 19 or something
Yes.
like that.
So think
It was
about
like
that.
19 or something.
And how old was he when he left Kansas City? When he took that deal? When he was traded?
29, 15 million. Yeah. That's where
Okay.
the market was at the time.
Okay. Now listen to what you just said. He was 29. He got 15 million on average. You said per year, right? And he got that for 4 years. And on top of that, that was 2 years before the Sauce Gardner trade from the Jets to Indy. Now you think about that. If 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 McDuffie is 26 and they offer him a 4-year deal, it's gonna be worth more than what they gave Snead for sure.
Well, duh, because the
Okay,
market is
right,
higher
right,
now. Because
right, right, right.
he was,
And
yeah,
that
well, everybody's going to get more than what Snead got
and
because at the time the market wasn't as low. So yeah, of
exactly.
course.
But what I'm saying is that can Kansas City afford to pay him what the going rate will be now? Because, like I said, I think that if Gonzalez is
Also,
out there, they
and
still
I
have
look,
that hanging over them.
here's the thing though. It's the Titans for crying out loud. The Titans,
Well, yeah.
come on, man. They gonna sign anybody that's semi good for a
Yeah. I
crazy
mean, I
contract.
mean, I
You
mean,
know what I'm
yes.
saying?
I mean, yes and
I
no,
put it
but
this way: the good teams wouldn't have made this deal. 29 years old, and you got to factor in he was having injury problems too.
yeah,
That's the
but
reason. That's one of the reasons why they traded him.
I
And guess
mean,
what?
that's
He ain't did shit since he's
yeah,
been there.
but this is the way of the league, right? They find a team to actually make this deal with, right? A team that thinks that they've got a chance to be up and coming, right? This is what
He has
this
a
is.
potential out after these two. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I mean, this is why they make these deals, right? That's why I said I think it's a possibility that the Gonzalez thing, because he is a
Oh,
young.
I take that back, bro. I'm tripping.
What's up?
So he got traded.
All right,
What year? Why isn't it showing? Hold on, because I hella looked at this wrong. I'm
well,
tripping.
damn
Hold
it!
on.
Now you got all the information on here wrong.
Yeah, I'm tripping, man.
Fuck! I'm gonna have to
Hold
go in
on, hold
here and
on.
edit all this shit out.
No, it's just the I got the contract years wrong.
Okay, so you got how many
So
years wrong, or you just got the contract year wrong?
no, it's just like his age of when it happened. Like I'm
Okay,
looking at it. I looked at it completely wrong. Hold on. I'm
so
hella
he would have
tripping.
been. So you know what? I just thought about that. He wouldn't have been no 29. He would have been
Yeah, that's what I'm
27.
saying. I
He
just
would have been
looked at
27.
it wrong. He was
Uh,
20 because he got traded in 23,
yes,
and then in 24 was his first year
yes. So in 20, and
with the Titans.
yeah,
So he would have been about 27 ish.
yeah, yeah. So because he was in the
Yeah,
last
he
Super
was
Bowl with the
27.
Chiefs when they played against the 49ers the second time.
Right. Yeah, he was 27,
Okay.
not 29.
Okay. So
Yeah.
just, yeah. So 27. That's more feasible too. I can see that. Uh, yeah. Now that you were saying that, I was like, wait a minute, 29. That don't sound right. So yeah, I just kind of was thinking about it at that moment. But
Yeah,
anyway,
his average salary was 19 million with the Titans. That's why I was saying, but that's why when I was looking at it, I was like, bro, no other good team would have did that. 19 million for a 27-year-old that had
but
injury
that's the
problems.
point. That's the point.
Crazy.
You think about it. Look, there are teams right now who want McDuffie and they're contenders. Contenders. The Rams want him. The Cowboys want him. I know everybody doesn't think the Cowboys are a contender, but I think they will be coming up next year.
I don't know,
Huh?
man.
I do. I think they're going to be.
Man,
I think they're.
we do this with the Cowboys
I
every
know,
year.
but here's the deal. I do like the fact that they got rid of Eberflus, who was a terrible fucking defensive coordinator. I mean, hell, he was a terrible head coach in Chicago the year before. So
I don't know what it is about the Cowboys, but I just feel like they underachieve
of course,
way
they
more
do.
than they should.
Of course they do. But like I said, they do have some pieces that are there. I like a lot of those pieces that they have. The one thing that is missing on their roster with them getting rid of Trayvon Diggs, they need another corner,
Yeah,
right?
they don't. Hey, they need a lot of things on. At least the defensive line is probably
Well,
good.
the defensive
But it's
line I think is fine. I think the defensive line
they don't got
they
no
might look at
linebackers.
another they might
They ain't
look
got
at
no
another
linebackers
edge.
either.
They need a linebacker, but
They need corners
also
too.
they need a corner. They need a real good corner. And I think Trent McDuffie would be one of those guys that they would actually take a swing at.
And I need that Rams pick. I'm sorry. Give me 13 in the third, and we can call it good, man.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But
Hey, if we can get 13 in the third,
yeah,
I need that. I need that
here
immediately.
here's what I'll say. With everything going on with the Chiefs right now, as far as restructures, cap, all this bullshit, right? One of the things that happened this week that I, didn't think was going to happen is we had a Tyreek Hill sighting in KC, mainly because Tyreek Hill was cut from the Miami Dolphins. After the gruesome injury that Tyreek Hill had this past season, uh, we really didn't know what was going to happen with Tyreek. There was a lot of injury concern as far as the ligaments and damage done to the ligaments. The surgery supposedly went well. We didn't think there was going to be, according to Rosenhaus, his agent, at first they didn't think there was going to be any more surgeries. Now we're learning that there was an additional surgery that will have to happen on the LCL. And there is talk of Tyreek Hill possibly returning to the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know if it's going to happen. What I will say is this. Do I hope so? I would love to see it. To see him come back home, which is where he wants to be in the first place. I think it's a good possibility that it could happen. Do I think it'll happen immediately? No. I think it will possibly happen sometime after the surgery and maybe possibly later on during the season, later on down the line. Tyreek Hill is the greatest Chiefs wide receiver of all time to me. I don't know where everybody else sits at that
Man, that's
aspect, but
not close.
yeah, but to
What?
me, he's the greatest Chiefs wide receiver of all time. Maybe not by the numbers, per se, as far as that go, but as far as explosion, yards per catch, as far as, uh, electrifying and excitement and winning a Super Bowl. Tyreek Hill is the most gifted athlete I think the NFL has ever seen. And that's saying a lot. We have never seen a guy with this kind of speed at this size who can take the top off, track the ball, run every route, and consistently be there for his team. Now, the injury sucks. I hated to see it when it happened in Miami. Tyreek Hill is still one of my favorite Chiefs of all time. And if it does happen and they find a way to bring Tyreek home, I say, let that man come home. That's how I look at it. Tyreek Hill will always be a KC Chief. And I don't think there's a better way for Travis to go out than to have the whole crew assembled. Jones, Kelsey, Tyreek, and Mahomes. I don't think there's a better way for Travis to go out. Matter of fact, I think it might rejuvenate Travis again.
I'm
So
dead.
I'm just saying. And you got Bieniemy back too? Man.
Hey
This
man, I gotta I gotta. Let me know what you think about this because I was actually just thinking about this. So
Okay.
I've been doing some looking into the whole Rice situation, and
Yes.
apparently, since it's a civil case,
Yes.
meaning it's money involved, usually the NFL doesn't do anything with those kind of cases. They usually just because it's not criminal
It's
charges.
not a criminal charge.
So the dude that was looking into this, he said it's more than likely that he will not miss any time this season, or even if he does, it probably won't be from for like 2 to 3 years from now because civil cases can take a very long time.
Exactly.
So here's my thing though, and hear me out, because I am a fan of Rishi Rice. I actually think Rice has untapped potential he has not been able to show
Yeah.
the NFL yet. Partially on his behalf, but partially obviously because he got injured.
Yes.
So here's the thing: Tyquan Thornton, he is 25 years old.
Still young.
Rishi Rice, he is 25 years old. Here's my thing: I don't think, especially if you want, because I do think Worthy. I think Worthy going forward is going to be the guy. That's just my opinion. I think, like, just as of right now, I think Worthy, he's going to ascend, in my opinion. But
Okay.
here's my thing: in order to have Jalen Royals, you know, be that next guy, that we want him to be, I don't think you can also have him plus Tyquan Thornton with Rice, and then potentially Tyreek Hill, right?
hmm
So, would you rather move on from Rice
Excuse me.
and then not have to worry about paying him, and then just moving on and going forward with Tyquan instead? Because think about it, they're the same age. Taekwon is going to be a lot more cheaper,
Excuse me. Sorry.
and he's different. He doesn't play the same role that like she would. He's more of an outside guy that you can, and then you can put Royals in that area that Rasheed is in. You get what I'm saying? Like they're the
Yeah.
same age. You get where I'm going? Like think about it. And I'm not. It's just a thing that I've thought about because it's just like they're the same age. I really do think like if Taekwon would have stayed in his role that he was doing in the beginning of the season, he could have had a big year, man. And it's not even me saying because I do think like Rasheed, he came back. He only played like 6 or 7 games. He still had a solid year.
Yeah.
Like, dude still had like 600 yards and like 6, 7 touchdowns. Missed
Here
like more than half the season. So it's just
here's
like
here's the deal.
I don't know,
I
man.
know
I
I
don't
know where you're
know.
going with this, and look, I can't knock you for the process of what you were thinking, right? Because it's
I was just thinking
really
because they were the same age.
it's really a good thing, a good question to ask, right? And y'all forgive me. Hey, I'm we're in Kansas right now. We've had these dry, bad winds, and so now we got these fires going, and there's a lot of smoke in the air, ash, and stuff like that. So it has been playing havoc with me and my sinuses. Horrible, horrible crap, right? But here's what I'll say. The one flaw in what you were thinking, as far as how I'm looking at it, is we still don't know about Royals yet. We don't know
I
what
mean,
he can
yeah,
do. That's the
but
only problem I have with this whole scenario is that we
I mean,
don't
here's the thing.
know anything about Royals because they didn't play him really this year, which irritates the
I
fuck out of me.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I'm gonna be honest. Even if they do keep Rasheed this year, I don't think they're gonna re-sign him.
Yeah.
I would be like, and if they do re-sign him, it won't be like on no crazy deal or nothing like that. Um,
No, I don't see
I
them
don't
doing
know.
that.
Yeah, because I'm only thinking of a money thing too. Because if you sign Taekwon, you could sign Taekwon for multiple years, significantly cheaper.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Very true.
even compared to Rice, you could a Rice deal. He probably still gonna get like a 60, 70 million 3 year, something like that. You know what I'm
Probably
saying?
close
Maybe.
to it. Yeah, close to it.
Yeah. With
And
with Taekwon, he won't get close to that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no.
I don't know.
Now, here's the thing. When you have a situation like this with young receivers who are clearly talented, right? We know what Taekwon can do. He's not in the same kind of mold as a Rasheed Rice. They're not going to put him over the middle like that. He's a go guy, right? He's going to be a guy that can take the top off. Rasheed is the guy they want to put in that situation where they can put him in the slot. They can run those slants. He's a quick route, turn, grab, and go guy, right? Sort of like having a running back at the wide receiver position. We know that Jalen Royals is built similar to a Rasheed Rice. And I want to say, I really want to say, I think Jalen Royals is just a tad bit heavier than Rasheed Rice, but I'm not quite for sure. I don't quite
Uh,
remember.
I think they're about the same. Um,
Are they?
yeah, I think Rice is like an inch taller though.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm about to
But
look.
even at that, what I'm saying is that this whole scenario to get rid of Rice, which, like you're saying, which one would you keep if you had to do this scenario? It all kind of pivots on what Royal shows us this year. With Chad O'Shea coming in, who's been able to work with wide receivers and transform wide receivers, especially with his work up in New England. I think we have to kind of give it time to see what this year plays out, how it plays out, right? And I would hope that Royals gets a fair shake this season after really not getting any kind of playing time this past season. So Rasheed Rice I'm kind of up in the air on it because
And it's not me saying that I don't want to get rid of him. Like if we
I
can
know you
keep him and
don't.
everything is good,
I know you don't.
I
What
would
you're
love
saying
to
is,
keep him.
but you're thinking basically is that look, he may have priced himself out as time goes on from what the Chiefs really want to do because we know the only receiver we've seen them pay like that in recent history has been Tyreek Hill. And even at that, they were willing to pay Tyreek a bunch of money, but weren't willing to give him as much guaranteed money that as what he wanted. And Tyreek, Tyreek was a different player. I mean,
And that was his third contract too.
that was
That
his
wasn't his
third
second
contract.
contract.
No, it
That
was
was
his
his third
third.
contract.
So we'll see. We shall see. It just kind of depends. I hate answering those type of questions because it all kind of hinges on because we didn't really get a good grasp for what Rasheed was doing or where he was at this year because of the injury
No,
that he had, and on top of that, at the time he had to
he was
sit
on
out.
pace. That's what I was saying. He was on pace to have a monster season. Like if he would have played the whole season,
Yeah,
well over 1,100, 1,200 yards, easy. If he plays the whole season with that pace, so I
yeah.
mean, and that's what and look. I get it. Man, look. I feel like people are so reactionary though because yeah, he struggled those last. Okay, before Mahomes got hurt, what was it? The Cowboys game.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember where that game where she didn't have a great game. I know it was it the Cowboys. No, he had a good game against the Cowboys. I think it was after that.
He had a good game against the Cowboys, but the Chargers game after that,
Okay.
that was a bad game. Yeah, I
Wait,
didn't think
what game did Mahomes get hurt?
the Chargers game, the second Chargers game in Arrowhead.
Because I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
Game log.
That's the game where they were sitting on the routes up underneath and they were waiting for Rice as he was coming across the middle and they were lighting his ass up.
So he was 7 for 11, had 51 yards. Nothing crazy.
No.
What I was thinking about more so was the Houston game.
The Houston game, yeah, that was not good.
He was not good that game. I think that
That
was the
was
worst
not
game.
good.
But this is my point though, because like I'm looking at his game log, and before, especially after that Dallas game,
Yeah.
where he had a good game, 92 yards,
Yes, he did have a good
2
game.
touchdowns. He was good that good. And then even
Yeah.
before that, that's the game against Indianapolis where he had 141 receiving yards
Yes.
and 8 catches.
He came alive in the second half on that indie game, the indie game.
So this is my thing. Those last two games, the
Yeah.
complete narrative flipped on Rasheed Rice from, oh, he's our future receiver, wide receiver, blah blah blah. Everybody was happy, blah blah blah. And then those two games happened, and all of a sudden he can't be a number one wide receiver. And I don't agree with stuff like that.
I don't
It
think
can't
he
be that reactionary.
here's my
And
thing.
I get it.
I
I
don't
get it. It was in a big game where we had to get in the playoff. Like I get it, but 2 games, y'all. Come on, man.
here's the deal. I don't really think Rasheed is a number one. And it's just me. I can be wrong though. I will say that. I can be wrong because there have been glimpses of Rasheed where he
Hey, I put it this
does look
way.
like a number one.
I put it this
But
way. Rookie
there
year,
also
rookie year when we won the Super Bowl,
yes.
he was our number one wide receiver, and he was one of the reasons why we won the Super Bowl that
Well,
year.
yes, that's what I'm saying. There have been glimpses where he looks like he is a number one. But the reason why I think a lot of people gave him the more guff this season and said that so quickly was because the time off. I don't think I don't think his game got better because, and a lot of that was because he hadn't had a lot of time on the field. You know, a lot of rust may have set in, right? Uh, and he didn't get a chance to really be on the field as much as I think he should have. Like that whole second season, if he had been able to play that whole season with Mahomes without his knee injury, of course, I think he would have been further along in his development.
You know what else I think it is too though?
What?
I think it's the fact of how the Chiefs season went overall. Think
Oh,
about it.
that definitely had something to do with it.
Everything is so
Yeah.
much more highlighted.
Yes.
Team is not
And
doing good,
and
obviously. So
it's
you're
gonna
gonna point
be
to yes,
yeah,
you're gonna point to anything that maybe looks like that is the
yeah.
issue with
And
why the
that's
Chiefs aren't as good as they were. You know what I'm
and
saying? Like,
that's gonna be the question no matter what team it is if they're coming off of Super Bowls
yeah,
and
exactly.
dynasties and shit like that. That's gonna be with any team. So uh final question of the night. Okay. And this is just me asking. And we've kind of had discussions about, you know, players and movement, things like that. Do you think the Chiefs make a move to try to get Isaiah Likely from the Ravens?
Well, he's a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. Probably not.
Okay. Just
I
kind of
just,
wondering.
um, I don't know, man.
Just kind of wondering. Y'all have to forgive me. I'm
I
having to
just
eat this
don't.
cough drop to help my throat. The sneezing.
I don't know. The Travis Kelsey thing is kind of interesting, man, because
Very.
as much as I want him back, it really depends on how much they pay this dude. Like, how much are they gonna pay this dude?
That's one of the biggest questions is what are we looking at compensation wise for
Man,
paying Travis?
I think when Dan did that little thing that I was thinking about, I
Yeah.
think he did a contract with him for like 14 million or something like that. And I was like, nigga, that's a lot. Like,
Listen,
like that one
we're over the salary cap now. We're trying to get newer, younger guys in. I get it.
fair.
I
To
want
be
Travis
fair,
to be back.
he did say that Travis is probably going to take less than that,
I hope so.
ideally, in the real
I
life.
I hope
But
so.
even then, 14 to like 15
Oof.
million, man. Like,
Yeah,
you know what kind
that's
of player you can get with that kind of money at this point at a
yeah.
younger age?
Isaiah Likely.
I actually think he'll be cheaper than that.
Well, I'm just
I ain't gonna
saying,
lie.
if I
If I
was
had to
gonna
pick,
pay, if I was gonna pay one of them, and pay somebody that kind of money, it'd be a guy about the age of Isaiah Likely, who's
oh
proven
yeah, yeah,
something in
yeah.
the NFL, right?
I ain't gonna lie though. I ain't gonna lie though. If I had to pick a tight end at anybody, I'm taking Kyle Pitts. That's what I want.
Ooh,
Now, is he gonna be available?
I don't know if we're gonna be able to
I don't
afford him.
know. I don't know. I don't know if Atlanta is gonna be. I don't know if they're gonna tag him or not. I haven't seen anything, but that's about how much he's going for on
Yeah.
stock track.
Well, everybody, we're going to do another top 5 for the draft, which means if you haven't seen the other ones that we've put out, we've done one on the defensive tackles that are coming out this year, defensive edges, and we did one over corner. So we're going to do another one, but we really wanted to talk about the restructuring situation and things that are going on in Kansas City that concern the team as a whole, right? So we will do another one. It'll be over safeties, and it'll be the top 5 safeties in this year's 2026 draft. So be on the lookout for that one coming up here real soon. Okay. We've got a little bit of time before the drafts comes around. And also be on the lookout for our
Oh,
first. What happened? What happened?
Kyle Pitts is his market value, and it's probably gonna be a little higher than this, but it's at a little under 11 million.
Oh, that's different. That's a little bit different. I like to hear that. Also, be on the lookout for our first mock draft. We did them last year. We had a fun time doing that last year. You remember those, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
Those were pretty good. I really did enjoy doing the mock draft. So we're going to do another one here coming up soon. So we want to say thank you to everybody that is a subscriber and those who support the channel. We appreciate you, and we we do this for the love of sport. This is what we do, right? And we like to share our thoughts with the people who don't mind sitting down and, you know, listen to what we have to say. So if you're new to the channel and you've never seen us before, we hope that you enjoyed it. If you like what you heard, go back, watch some of our older stuff. Got a lot of stuff on here, content wise, that you can check out. And if you feel so inclined, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button so we can have you come back again next week, and be on the lookout for, our new content, which if you're a subscriber, you'll get a ding about it. So anyway, that is it for us tonight. I'm Big Temp. That is Mr. Mike LaFleur. We are the Cave Cast, and we hope to see you guys again next week. Y'all take it easy.